All right, so welcome back to Beat Down Bandits podcast. This is season 2, episode 3. I just had to practice that because I'm really bad at remembering what episode I'm on. As you can see, Cameo is back. Very last minute schedule, so welcome back. So the Apex season 8 patch notes just came out last night, so wanted to discuss those. And sadly, this will be out after, but no big deal. Maybe some people haven't played yet, and they wanna get the patch notes info from a podcast.
Yes,
why not? And they want to hear it from us, and not just Google the answers and all that the notes themselves. They want to hear it in podcast form because that's the way of the future. Anyway, so we're gonna go through this and kind of discuss. If I can share it, that would be beneficial. And I'm going to share the sound of it too, because I might play one of the trailers or whatever for the season. So certainly people have seen that, but that should be good. So anyway, so get ready for Mayhem. So the season 8 Mayhem patch notes. All right, so we're not going to go through the dev stream because I am sure that's probably at least 45 minutes long, and I don't want this to be a super long podcast. Season 8 Mayhem brings the boom starting February 2nd at 10 a.m. It's currently our 10 a.m. Pacific time, so that's in 2.5 hours from the time that this is getting recorded. So it will be live by the time this gets out, but still want to kind of go through it and discuss at least our thoughts and get Camio's opinions on things as well. So we're going to skip the dev stream because you can watch that yourself. So new legend is Fuse. I think everybody probably knows the Fuse is the new legend, which is super exciting. I think you also agreed at the first trailer when he came out, it's man, this guy is going to be kind of trash when he comes out. And then the last trailer, the actual Fuse trailer comes out, it's oh, he's kind of cool looking.
Yes,
and, maybe a little more powerful. So a little more powerful than we thought. So I'm assuming you had that same thing.
Yeah. Completely. I mean, at first it was nah, I'm not so sure about this guy, but now afterwards he actually looks quite fun, and even all his stuff, which will we discuss? My God, sorry, in a minute, sounds also pretty fun.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So meet Fuse, a mercenary turned cage fighter who never turns down a good dust up. His affinity for explosions allow him to carry extra grenades and to throw them faster and further, which is this is what I kind of predicted, is just give him that Watson ability to carry the accelerants with grenades, which is something I thought they should have done with Bangalore 2 seasons ago, but that's beside the point. So you can launch a cluster bomb with airburst explosives, and when it's time to really bring the boom, Fuse uses Wally, much like we have Sheila with Rampart, to launch a bombardment that encircles an area in a ring of flames. Which, if you watch that ultimate, it puts a ring outside. So my worry was it's just going to bring down fire on top of a whole area, and that whole area is just screwed. But it seems like it puts them in a ring of fire, and they're kind of just stuck. So that makes it a little more escapable, so you're not just instantly dead if a fuse is nearby. So passive Grenadier, and stack an extra grenade per inventory slot, which we talked about, and fire grenades farther, faster, and more accurately. So anything with that? Your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think in my opinion, it's pretty cool because I don't know, it's been a long time since we actually could store more than one grenade in one slot. So therefore, this is already exciting, and also his ability or the possibilities with him could be actually quite fun. I mean, to throw grenades that far and that accurate could be really fun, just to make some funny plays with it, I guess. But we will find out soon.
Yeah, when did they get rid of? Because didn't you used to be able to stack 3 grenades on top of each other? So just 2 or 3.
I think it was 3.
Oh my gosh! And see, looking back, at season 1, why I didn't take more advantage of having 9 grenades on me at any given time. is crazy. And I don't think really like most people took advantage of it until, and I think it was like ALGS, like the first season, where it was like, oh, these are really useful, and like the
Yeah.
arc stars, which I never touched, but like the cool
Yes.
things you can do with arc stars, like yeah, these are a little more powerful than I thought. And then they like season 2, they gave a buff to the thermites, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, these are nice.
Yeah, the thing is, I was always a little bit torn apart about this because I mean, I'm really glad that it turned this a little bit down because I remember one game where we just had a key for a vault, and we and I mean we were just in the vault, and then a third team just came, or another team just came, and I know they just threw in like 10 to 20 nades, and they just obliterated us with this. And so
You know what?
definitely, I'm glad. Yeah,
I'm gonna put a link because that's one of your videos, correct?
I think so. Yeah,
I think so.
it,
I'm because
it could
like
be
when you started
yes.
talking about it, I'm like, this sounds really familiar. Like, did this happen to me or did this happen to you? But yeah, I think I remember that video. That may have been like the first video of yours like I watched, to be honest. So because
Actually,
that
be the
was
case. Yeah,
several seasons ago.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, grenades are especially in like a tight area like that where you're just screwed.
Mhm.
You can't go anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna share that video because it's pretty funny. I mean, it's sad, but it's funny.
yes, but funny. I mean, but again, back to his passive, the Grenadier. I think it could be pretty interesting just to imagine that you can stay really far away and just throw a grenade. I don't know how far, I guess far.
Yeah,
And so therefore this could be, I don't know,
yeah,
really, really funny.
and his don't like arch. Like I know, like in one of his trailers or whatever, you can see it. I mean, like shooting out of
Yeah.
his wrist thing, and it's like a
And it's
straight
actually
line.
fast. Yeah, yeah. And
Yep.
it's actually really, really fast.
Yeah, people are gonna get screwed by arc stars this season. I can
Oh yeah.
see it coming.
Oh yeah. And the last thing that was in the trailer, which I was not sure about, when he fired that arc star, it also seemed like it exploded faster because it immediately went like boom. But this could be maybe just be part of a trailer and maybe
Yeah,
just
you're right. It did. Yeah, because normally like an arc star, you got to wait a few
yeah,
seconds for it to
yeah.
crack. Yeah. I mean, it would be interesting if like an arc star hits. That's like a unlisted passive. Is you hit somebody with an arc star, it pops immediately.
Oh, that would be
Oh man,
overpowered, I think.
just waiting for the content on this one.
Yeah.
Oh my. All right. So his tactical is the knuckle cluster, which I love that name. Launch a cluster bomb that continuously expels airburst explosives on impact. So it's kind of like a flashbang is my impression of it, because it seems like
Oh
it's
yeah, there could be.
constantly popping. So I don't know how it's hard to tell in the trailers like how effective this is, but
Yeah, I think the knuckle cluster was a difficult thing because even Kenny Roo watched this, and also he was not really sure what it's actually doing, because I mean
yeah.
in a trailer you can see something is happening, but you actually don't know what, and it doesn't seem to have a big impact or something.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just more or less just like an audio distraction, because
Oh, that could be
I
also.
could see like, yeah, just like flashes of light and audio explosions, like just being, yeah, like sensory overload for people, where it's like I don't know what's happening, what direction things are coming from. So maybe that's what the point of it is I'm going to distract you with this, and then meanwhile we're gonna, flank behind you and murder you. Maybe
Yes, could be.
that's something. But yeah, it's hard to tell exactly how effective or what all this does.
Yeah.
And then finally, his ultimate, the mother load, launch a bombardment that encircles a target area in a wall of flames.
Mhm.
So yeah, my initial worry when I heard this or saw this was like, oh my God, like this is like, we're just gonna get covered in fire. But it doesn't seem to be that crazy. It seems
No,
to
no.
be at least a little bit balanced where it's like if it just happens to hit you, then you're going to get burned. But I'm also curious if he, like one of his other passives, like he takes less fire damage. Because I could
Oh,
see that also
yeah.
being a thing.
That could make sense. Yeah. Why not?
It's almost like a caustic where he doesn't
Mm.
get affected by gas. Maybe that's one of his things is he doesn't get affected by fire. So
I mean,
we still see.
his. Oh, sorry. I mean, his ultimate looks pretty interesting, or it looks pretty funny, but I don't know how. I actually don't know how effective it will be in the end because I mean, it's only fire, so you can walk through it, and I don't
Right.
know. I guess it just depends at how much damage it does, or if it maybe even slows you.
Yeah.
Because yeah,
Yeah, if
but
it's got like a slowing effect or something too, like
yeah.
could be devastating. All right. Anything else with fuse? Otherwise, we'll jump on to the repeater here.
Oh yeah. One last thing about the Grenadier passive was I'm curious how long the cooldown will be on this
Like how
because
fast he can,
yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
doubt there's any cool. Like, is there any
Oh,
cooldowns for
really?
people's passives?
Oh, that's a good question. But I could think of it. Okay, no, maybe not. I'm not so sure because I guess, for example, the Arcstar again, if it really explodes uh, on impact, then I guess there would be some kind of a cooldown needed because it would be too strong. But
Yeah.
on the other side, I also don't think that it would make sense because you also don't have a cooldown on throwing nades. So therefore, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not
yeah, I
sure
mean,
about that.
if I mean, worst case scenario is this dude's carrying 8 grenades with him at any given time. So that, I mean, if he can just sit there and shoot them accurate, it's pretty devastating. I don't know. Maybe,
Yeah.
because I also think like Lifeline's going to have one of these cooldowns on her passive soon.
Mm.
I don't think they'll get rid of her current passive. I think they'll just put a timer on it so she can't constantly keep, you know, reviving people with a shield.
Yeah.
So almost like you revive, and if you revive again in the next 15 seconds, it's almost like being hit by a revenant
Okay. Yeah.
thing. Like you can still revive, but it's like the traditional revive.
Mm. Yeah, that could be actually be. Yeah.
So I mean that makes sense to me. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's almost like just let's just see what type of devastation he has, and if it needs to be cooled down, maybe.
Yeah. Could be. Yes.
Either way, I'm looking forward to. I was not looking forward to like Rampart and Loba and stuff, but
Mm.
this one I'm looking forward to.
Agreed.
Let's see. Okay, so 30-30 repeater. I think you and I are both in agreement that this is kind of me.
Yeah.
Um, it does use heavy, so my impression is it's like the heavy version of a G7
Yes. Yes.
mixed with a Sentinel because I think you can charge.
Mm.
Did you?
Yes, you
Okay,
can
so
charge it.
oh yeah, this heavy ammo lever action repeater boasts hard hitting rounds that'll nail a fleeing Mirage at 200 paces. Benchmark for reliability, designed to withstand whipping sandstorms. What does that even mean? Temporal instability,
You are
which made it
asking
an
the wrong one.
obvious choice for the Apex games. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like a G7 almost, the heavy version that can be charged. So
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of strange. I think for a new season, this weapon is a little bit underwhelming because at least for me, it doesn't have this wow effect for me for like, oh my god, a new gun, I need this. It's just like okay. And one part which is kind of annoying, at least for me, is that it also doesn't seem to have a really impact. So
mhm.
I mean, for example, if you hit with the wingman, it feels good, but with
Yeah.
this one, it doesn't really feel like you have an impact if you hit someone.
Well, and especially on Kings Canyon, which we're going to get to next, I can see, is I think you're much less likely to use longer range stuff in Kings Canyon. Now, maybe the current map changes you will. Maybe it'll be a lot more open, and at least from like the new area where it's got the lift, that little lift towers,
Yeah.
maybe this will be useful. But like in Kings Canyon, I never find myself grabbing anything that's more long range than a hemlock.
Rarely, yes, rarely.
It's like, yeah, give me like an SMG and an assault rifle, or 2 SMGs, something like that, and then like let's just run around like crazy people. World's Edge and Olympus, you need something, like I think having like a Hemlock G7 triple take is a little more useful. So I don't know. I mean, I could be mistaken. Maybe it's like super awesome hip fire. I don't know. So maybe it's got that triple take shotgun effect as a hip fire. I don't know.
Yeah,
But it also, it reloads 1 round at a time also, which you're not going to be going through ammo at all. So I think if you're firing that slow and having to constantly reload, I mean, it better hit hard.
Yeah.
So almost like a Kraber, like where it's got to reload after every shot, basically. Yeah, it's I don't know. So it's got a built-in charge.
Yeah.
So you don't have to use shield cells?
No.
Like it's an okay, good.
Far as I've seen, no, you don't need it.
Built-in charge game players an opportunity to duel increase damage with each shot at the cost of a short build-up.
Yeah.
Okay, so it automatically charges or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so almost like a triple take or a peacekeeper. What's the little hop up that they had? Now they're like built in.
I forgot the name. I'm not so sure, but I know what you mean.
I forget what that's called, but basically, you hold down the ADS and it basically charges a little bit. Okay, so maybe something like that. All right. Let's see. The 30-30's engagement range allows unique opportunities to reload individual rounds between shots. This gives the repeater the ability to lay down consistent precision range pressure, something weapons with full reloads can sometimes struggle with. Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be one of those things where I just got to get in and shoot and see what happens.
Yeah.
Probably be spending a lot of time in the firing range with that thing. So I'm very curious of like how useful it really is.
Yeah.
All right, so Kings Canyon. So first of all, I loved slums back in the corner. So I'm kind of sad that that's gone. But I'm glad it's expanded. So it kind of gives, a couple additional landing zones where you're not going to be landing in one place with like 4 other squads. That was definitely the downside of Kings Canyon. Unless you're landing in Skulltown with like 18 other squads. The other 2 are in bunkers, so
Yeah, the thing is, at least for me, I never really landed or rarely landed in slums, so therefore it's not really a big deal for me that it's just gone. But the thing is, I guess you will talk about this in a moment, but I mean, it's a little bit confusing as far as I know. They really didn't change that much about Kings Canyon. I mean, they added some space.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this will really solve the problems that there are with Kings Canyon, that it's just too small. I guess we will find out, but...
I know they added or expanded some choke points. So
okay.
You're not... So I know they talked about that. They do have a full map blog, which anybody's more than welcome to check out or whatever. But I know they talked about a few different areas where they tried to open it back up, because that was a big problem with Kings Canyon, is just getting choked.
Yeah,
and that was so it's one of those things where it's fun if you're on one end, not so fun on the other. So especially with somebody like Fuse now, that could be pretty nuts. To be honest.
Yeah.
So
yes, that's actually true.
I like the north part. So so players can now explore beyond artillery. So it looks like maybe in the back of artillery there's a walkway or something to the back. I remember reading about it, but I don't remember. Oh, and the tunnel that went from the west side of artillery. they're opened up a new area in there. So, which takes you back to the new spot, which is called like 6 over slums and some new observatory. I don't remember. Okay, doesn't say on here, but the new area does look fun with the crash site from Fuse's ship, and it's got like the lift towers, which I guess there's a few of them back there, which could be interesting.
I think they're also on the new slums, right? Those new towers.
Over here, maybe.
Yeah, I
don't know.
think so.
Can you see my mouse?
Hey,
my
yeah,
mouse?
yes, I can.
Okay.
I can
All
see
right.
the mouse.
Okay, so yeah, like so over here somewhere, maybe like are these just like the round buildings, or are these actually like the lift towers?
That's actually hard to tell. I don't know. It looks like normal buildings, but
yeah,
it's hard to tell because it's so small. I mean, that's another thing. I guess we just have to see, but all the changes. I mean, the new space that they added, it looks kind of small. So therefore, I don't actually know how big the impact will be about this, because it looks really. It's hard for me to explain because I don't know how to explain it.
Well,
it's just.
And also, like they took away like slums and pit and added one point of interest. Yeah. So it's this. So it's like, well, you had 2 point of interests plus the little spot outside of pit, which there's usually like a gold or something in there too.
Oh, yeah. That's also gone, right?
Yeah, that's gone as well. So but this area is much bigger than what slums was, and then you've added this, which maybe the area in the back is massive enough for like 2 teams or 3 teams to land and still get tons of stuff. I think the downside is taking out Skull Town and Thunderdome and all that area and adding just salvage. Like, because salvage isn't enough for, that's enough for 1 team, not, even Skull Town though was only enough for like maybe 2 teams. Because in my opinion, Skull Town was never like really good loot. It was just 8 teams are going to land there, and it's just have fun. Have fun with kind of average loot and see what happens.
I mean, one last thing that could be also interesting is, as far as I know, the developers described this new location, or the area around the ship, something like it's a King of the Hill zone, that if you are on the ship, you have some kind of an advantage. But the question that I don't understand is just, if this zone is so important, why the hell do they put it up in the north, on the edge of the map?
Yeah, not in the center.
Yeah,
where it's going to be like in the first 2 rings or so.
Yeah,
because this, like, it's 10% of end zones will end up there. So why why is this so important?
Yeah.
Unless like for the first like 2 weeks every ring is going to end up there somewhere. Maybe that's something they could do just for fun, but either way, like you said, that's kind of odd to have something so vital on the edge. Because when it comes down to it, most people are going to want to land close to the center of the map, for competitive reasons. And rotational purposes, but we'll
I guess
see.
It will be interesting. Yeah, we will see.
It's better than nothing. I'll say that. Like it does expand the map, and depending on like the new choke point areas, like this choke point over here, because this is probably where like kind of pit was, or a little like outside of pit. It's not too bad. Because these are at least easy to get through, and it's not like a long choke point, like the choke point outside of Market. Like, oh my God, that's horrible trying to get through there.
Yeah,
I've died in that cave more than anywhere else on Kings Canyon for sure. So maybe except for Bunker, I don't know. I've died in Bunker a lot.
I have one last question now for you. What do you think was their intention that they only changed the north? Do you think they didn't have enough time, or did they do this on purpose?
Well, the north, I think, would had all that extra space already with all those mountains and stuff. So maybe it's
Yeah,
like
that's
we're
true.
not even expanding the map; we're just taking the mountains out and putting in stuff. So that might be why. I don't think there's any other real space of the map unless they take out all the center mountains and stuff. Um, and I don't think it has a name, but like the area that'll be like right through like in here or whatever, a little bit farther south. There's like the three buildings or whatever. It's kind of centralized. Like I like landing there. It doesn't have a name, but I like landing there because it's good enough loot for one or two teams in that area.
Ah, yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they're all like going up a hill,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's a good place to land. But that maybe could get a total like revive right there. Take it all out and put in like 6 or 7 buildings.
Yeah.
Expand it, make them bigger buildings, something like that. I mean, that there's plenty of space, I think, on Kings Canyon to
Yes.
have more points of interest. But and like the swamp area, I feel like could be redone. So there's plenty of space, I think. I still don't think I'm not a big fan of why taking out Skull Town. And like that's a whole chunk of the map just
Yeah,
gone.
yeah, yes, yes.
And they
And
could like maybe bring up some land right there, and so if you fall off in that water area, you'll actually land on more swampy water, and you can
that
run
would be
around there,
cool,
be
yeah.
crap down there
Yeah.
too. So and have like 6 or 7 zip lines that
Hmm.
kind of go all the way up to like Octane's place, all the way around. So there's options, I think, to expand it, but probably not this season.
Probably not.
All right, so maybe the most interesting thing right here is the legendary magazines, uh, which honestly I'm kind of surprised it took them this long. But yeah, so gold magazines attaching to a weapon automatically reloads your stored weapons after a brief delay. So I think my impression is a lot like Crypto's drone, where if he pulls his drone out, it reloads his guns. So I think it's basically taking Crypto's passive and putting it on the gold magazine. So what I'm curious about, attaching it to a weapon automatically reloads your stowed weapons after a brief delay. So you only have to have one, I guess, and it's the equivalent of a purple magazine. So oh yeah, I guess it says that there. The gold magazine has the same capacity as purple and is available for light, heavy, snipers, and energy. So it's all the way around. So if you find a gold, it works for both guns. Is my impression. So I mean that's not bad. It would be funny, and I know I don't want to spoil any of our future ideas for down the road, but there's a lot of cool things that you can do with this.
Yes, agreed. Um, the thing is now, w- w- when I saw the trailer the first time, or when I've seen the trailer the first time, I actually thought that it automatically reloads while you are shooting, and therefore I thought, oh my god, this is broke. How can I do this?
Right.
But no, okay, it has to be stowed. Okay, that makes sense.
And I think because I had the same impression. I was like, oh my god, like if you have like 400 rounds, like can you imagine just holding down the trigger for a Spitfire
Yes.
for 400 rounds? I think what everybody was mistaken on, it was Rampart. So she had extra rounds already in the gun. So
Ah,
that's
okay,
like
yeah.
one of her passives. Like she gets an extra like 10 rounds or whatever.
Oh,
So I think
smart people.
yeah, I think we were all panicking, but it's like, oh wait, that's Rampart. So she gets that extra little boost to her LMGs. Otherwise, that would be broken for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's just going to be running around with 400 rounds or a Spitfire. Either way, I think if you have a gold magazine and a double Spitfire or like a devotion and a Spitfire or something, I think there's all sorts of uh, things for comedy and that should be
Agreed,
should be
agreed.
pretty amazing.
But yeah,
Um, yeah. So anything else with that?
no, actually, no, 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 it's fine.
Okay. So moving on to like little mini fixes for that is the damage counter. So now we've added a damage counter to the HUD. Highly requested features, so we're excited to allow people easier tracking for chasing those badges and challenges. So I would appreciate it. Somebody like myself. I've been like close on like several people where it's like you end up with like 1982 damage. It's like, come on. Like you can't give me this. And then like there was one time I think with like Wraith where I had like 2900 something. It's like this is bull crap. Like so I don't know. It could be a little toxic because there could be like an increase in charge rifles.
Oh yeah.
People setting back of like, oh, now I can really track this.
Oh God, no.
So that's my worry is the charge rifle Charlies and the triple take Terrys setting up on mountains and just ticking people off. So I don't know. It's cool though because you can at least kind of keep a better eye, and if you're close to like some type of plateau of like a 4,000, 2,000, whatever, then that's pretty cool. Thoughts?
Yeah, the damage counter is really not a big deal for me. The only concern that I maybe have with it is that it could actually also increase the real toxicity of players for like, oh my God, I already did 2k damage. What the hell are you guys doing? Well, but it also but it also doesn't really make sense because I figure you can only see your own damage, so therefore I don't know. It's hard to tell.
If I didn't even think about that, like if somebody's like, yeah, I've got we're halfway through, there's still 7 squads left, and I've got 2,200 damage and 8 kills, and you could just be screaming at your teammates like how worthless they are.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be a thing. Yeah, and if you could like hit pause and go in like where you can see like your inventory, like you can check like, oh, does your teammate have a backpack or a helmet or whatever? If it shows like their damage counter, does it show their kills? Like I don't think so.
No. So therefore you can't see the kills of. Oh wait, I actually don't know. I don't think so. I think you
so
can
either.
see the kills. So
but if that became a thing, like if you pause and you can see their kills and damage, like oh my God, I would never play with randoms again. Bring on solo mode. There's no chance of playing with randoms because it would be just so toxic.
Yeah.
Oy
I
vey.
guess it will just increase the. I don't know how it's called in English. Just some kind of an online dick comparison. Oh, sorry, you.
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's it. Yeah, just a pissing contest or yeah.
Contest, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Dick comparison. Yep, that's it. Yeah, you put it the best way possible because that is what it is. Oh my God. All right. Pinging ammo. So pinging weapons or ammo in your inventory displays your current ammo count along with player wants ammo in the quick chat.
Nice change. I like it.
So wait, displays your current ammo count. So if you have, say you're running a Hemlock and you have 80 rounds and you ping, you need ammo, are your teammates going to just tell you to go F yourself because because they're running double Spitfire and they only have 120?
That's a pretty good question. Yeah, I guess so. Oh man.
Because I actually turned it into a video once because like I was running a Hemlock where I had died and I think I had 2,000 damage even in that game. Like I had like a 2K and I played really well and we finished second, but like I had died and my teammate revived, and while she ran and revived, when she ran back after we were respawning, she ran and grabbed all my ammo.
Oh yeah.
So I had a Hemlock and something else. It was close to the end of the game at that point, and I had a Hemlock with like 30 shots. It's like, so I pinged, nice. I need ammo like 9 times, and I know she had a lot. I'm pretty sure she was running a wingman. It's like you can get away with a wingman with like 60 shots. That will last you a long time. a hemlock with like 20 is not gonna last very long.
Oh no, not really. No.
So I was not very happy, and I don't want to say it necessarily cost us, but yeah, it kind of did. I think if I had more, we would have probably won it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can already see all the all the R99 memes that are coming with this. For
Yeah,
example, a Wraith that has still 400 rounds and is pinging for more light ammo, and I mean,
because I'm running double 99. I need at least 500. I need 500,
enemy.
one battery, one med kit. That's it.
That's it. That's the way to go.
It's, I need all the purple backpacks, and so speaking. This is a little off topic, but what is your opinion of like me? Like we'll say I'm Bangalore, and I'm running with a Bangalore, a Lifeline, and a Caustic. And I'm Bangalore. I run up to a care package, open it up, and oh hey, there's a gold backpack. I ping the gold backpack, and Caustic runs over and takes it.
No, classic.
It's like there is a 0% chance you are going to revive us.
Yeah.
Do does like the average person not know like a gold backpack is pretty much useless? Like it's the same as a purple. Like it needs to be on a Gibraltar, Lifeline, or Mirage like only. Like do people not understand that?
I don't know. I had that a couple of times, but very rarely that really somebody who is not really who took it and no, sorry, I'm wrong. Somebody took it who don't really need it because you can take the advantage of it. But yeah,
Right.
sometimes this happens, and it's just so funny because I don't know.
Yeah, like I have a buddy who grabbed one once, and because like that's his thing is like, oh, I need at least a blue backpack. It's like I get that. Like everybody, like it's hard to win a game without at least a blue backpack because you're just not going to have the supplies to win.
Yeah.
And so like we'll land like right off drop, and it's like I need a blue backpack. I need a blue backpack. But he'll get a gold regardless of who he is, and not ever dump it to anybody else. So I don't think he quite understands that. But to him, it's like, oh, I got the max amount. It's like, well, I have a purple. Why don't we trade? Because I'm Mirage. So it's like, well, I got the gold one. That's better. Never mind. Just forget it.
Yeah, but most of the time, really, most people really leave the golden backpack for the people who can really take advantage of it. For example, like you said, for Lifeline or Mirage.
Yeah, most people. Randoms
not all.
Don't care. Yeah, I get it. I play a lot of Mirage, so I grab it as much as I can, and I usually don't share it unless I have a Lifeline. But yeah, it's devastating. Like the time, like I pinged it and Caustic grabs it. And it's like, what are you doing?
It still happens, yeah.
Annoying. Anyway, moving on. Colorblind update. Healing and reviving will now follow colorblind rules when colorblind settings are enabled. Do you ever do anything with the colorblind modes, or do you have like
never.
default? Yeah. See, I've never like touched them, but there's a lot of people who say, oh yeah, it's less distracting with like the less red and stuff. It's like I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, just look up like people's settings. There's like, I feel like the elites turn it to like the try whatever. I forget what it's called, but they turn it to me. Like I would change it, and I would be like stop saying there's an enemy and you're pinging like, it looks like it's gold to me, and it's like, I want to go here, but there's an enemy. I'm confused.
Okay.
I think that now, like I'm just so used to the default colors that it would just distract me more.
Yeah.
So for those people, that may be more of an advantage. Lore blurbs on canon skins. So this is interesting to me. So some of our skins are canon and some are just for fun. For the skins that represent an important part of that character's backstory, we've added a small blurb to describe the significance of that skin and the legend's life.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I could see like a lot of the things for like, who's got like Wraith has a lot of those skins. I feel like that are part of her lore. Um, I'm trying to think of anybody else who might have lore type of skins.
Well, the newest Pathfinder skin, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's called, but you know the one I mean, I guess.
yeah. Lifeline. I mean, I guess probably a lot of the older people probably have them, like the ones that came out. So like the Lifelines and the. I doubt Mirage has much that deals with his or Caustic. Well, Caustic might,
Yeah.
but Caustic is kind of coming into the lore now. So, it's interesting. So it seems like they'll have lines of why they have some type of significance. So I'm curious what those will have. So here's the big stuff, in my opinion. So the legend meta. So, and this was like so right before we started recording, I kind of mentioned something about Watson and how like I was looking at this and like nothing happened to Watson. Spoiler alert, we haven't scrolled down, but Watson has no changes. And the devs have made comments before that, oh, she's a high pick and she has a high win rate in pro leagues. So any changes to her would have a devastating effect to pro leagues. Yet here they're making they make changes to Wraith all the time. They make changes to Pathfinder all the time. They make changes to Caustic. They've made all these changes. Like, isn't that going to affect pro leagues? But God forbid we we do anything to Watson that's really going to make her any better and more fun to play. So I think that's the term they used, is like, we don't want to affect Watson's like playability or how effective she can be. It's we want to make her more fun to play. And right now she's kind of dull to play. I don't think she's like that beneficial, unless you're like, to me, like I think once you hit like gold or platinum level of like a ranked, then maybe she's more interesting to play or more effective. But like you can go into a silver lobby. Those people don't care if you're Watson. It's like, let's just go die.
Yeah.
Let's land with 18 other teams. It's like, oh, we don't recognize that we have a Watson on our team, and like she might be beneficial toward the end game, and not so much, landing hot drop every time. So that's my Watson, right? Just because she's kind of been my my main since day one. Like I've always liked Watson since she came out, but oh well, that's my complaints. But oh well.
And the only thing that is that I can imagine is that they really totally revamp her, because that might actually take so much time that there's still nothing happened so far, or has nothing happened so far. That's the only that's the only explanation that I have, that it just takes so much time.
Yeah.
And as it seems, they really they also don't just want to tweak here, because if they wanted to do so, they would have already done so, I guess.
Right.
And I guess it's just a completely revamp or something, or maybe they will touch her never again. Who knows? I don't hope so, but who knows?
Yeah, in my opinion, she's just so kind of useless in pubs, and then she's not really useful even in ranked until she's a little bit higher. The only thing that I could think they could do without like a total revamp, which I think is what's going to probably happen, is they could continue to tweak her tactical defenses. I mean, I don't think I've ever killed anybody with fences. I think I've seen it like once in somebody's video, but people get kills with caustic gas all the time. So why can't her fences be comparable to the caustic gas?
Yeah,
I guess is something, as a defensive type of a legend who doesn't have fortified, and maybe that's something, is like maybe give her fortified, like maybe make, she's extra thick, you give her like bigger hips and a wider butt and she becomes fortified or something. I don't know. But
yeah, it just seems like they are really cautious about buffing here, because they might have to fear that it's coming back to the old season 2 camping meta, which they're trying to avoid. I mean, that's at least my assumption. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's, well, I mean, I guess if you make her tacticals stronger, maybe it does get a little more campy because everybody's like, well, my tacticals will, I can turn my the building that I'm in into a Saw movie, and there's no chance you're gonna come in here without dying. You're just gonna get lasered to death. And somebody made the comment of like, what about like being able to turn your tacticals off and on? Like, don't touch her, but give her the ability of like setting up her stuff. But then, like, the second the team pushes, or like they have no idea Watson's in there, she activates it like the second they're about to walk in the door.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that would be
I like that
nice.
idea.
Yeah,
So it doesn't
agreed.
make
That would
her
be really cool.
OP, it doesn't change damage, but the fact that it's just a simple on and off switch. Like you hit one button and then boom, all of her fences come up instantly. Could
Would
be
be
kind of
so
fun.
cool to make traps.
Yeah, like, or like trap people inside of a building. You
Yeah.
have you have them set outside, and then you trap people
Oh
inside
yeah.
a building with a camping caustic inside. Like, there's so much fun that could just happen. You've got a caustic up in the rafters, ready to drop down his ultimate on a team that comes in. You put like broken body shields, purple body shields in the middle. And they're like, ooh, purple. They go and grab them, and they're empty,
Oh god.
and then fences up on the outside and gas in the middle.
A total nightmare.
That is
Oh,
every team's worst nightmare. So yeah,
yeah.
I love it. This it's good content, right?
Agreed, yeah. So please go ahead, respawn, change it. We need
But
that.
yeah, an on-off switch I think is a simple fix, and it doesn't make it OP.
Hmm.
So plus if she's dead or busy or whatever, or has left those, turning them on isn't going to matter anyway. All right. So anyway, jumping back to these real notes and not imaginary ones. So Wraith's hitbox changed just like Pathfinder's, which honestly, like, ever since Pathfinder got his stuff changed, um, he's kind of become not so useful.
He has never been the same since then.
He has not been the same. He was always like a 90% pick in ALGS, and now I think one team ran him in the ALGS. It's a Wraith, Gibraltar, Caustic, Crypto, Bloodhound meta right now. So Pathfinder, like I said, like I think like one team used Pathfinder, one team used Watson, one team ran a Rampart. So it's pretty crazy that Watson and Pathfinder have the same pick rates as Rampart in pro leagues, but that's kind of the way it is. So yeah, you can kind of visually see. I mean, it looks like the new hitboxes are just a teeny bit bigger. I mean, it's kind of hard to see, but it makes it look like she's just like a little bit thicker of a hitbox. So
It's really hard to make out, but I think I can see it. Yeah, it's really a little bit smaller, but really not that
yeah,
much.
I mean, it looks like her head is a little tiny bigger. And
Oh
it
yeah.
looks like the hips and the waist are a little bit bigger before. Maybe the calves are a little bit bigger too, and the ankles. But otherwise, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
super noticeable.
I mean, I'm not so sure if this will really make the change or will have an impact or make any difference. I don't think so. But
Yeah.
who knows? I'm not a pro, so
She is keeping the low profile, and they're gonna apparently monitor usage and win rates to see if there's anything that like has a major effect. Like if she starts all of a sudden sucking, I'm sure they'll remove it. They seem to want to keep Wraith as like the must-have person on a team, which is fine. I think you got to have some type of transportation ability like that, and anybody who can be invincible for a short period of time, like, I think is super important. So other changes, Sheila for Rampart, and see, this I like this I have no problem with. So she used to be able to turn Sheila 120 degrees, so pretty decent amount. So now it's just a little bit farther. So now she can
yeah,
basically go complete side to side. So a
yeah,
full left to right turn there. Just fine. I thought maybe just make her go full 360 and be freaking crazy with it, but oh well. And then the wall health and build phase increased from 1 HP to 45. Also, I think is a good idea. So it's not like you can't just constantly spam. Like, she can put it up all day. I've got 400 rounds in in my G7. All I have to do is just pop it once, and she's golden. Yeah. So 45. What's a wingman shot? Is that 44? Does that sound right?
I actually don't know right now. I can't tell you.
I feel like there's quite a few guns that are like at that 44 range, and I think a wingman is a 44. So if it goes to 45, that's a big thing. So like you can't hit it with a wingman shot, and so that's pretty good. Okay, so Horizon, the gravity lift effective cooldown increased from 21 to 25 seconds, which is not surprising. And then a 15-second cooldown timer now starts when the gravity lift disappears. So that's a pretty drastic change because major. Yeah, it felt like the second the gravity lift disappears, like you have like 2 more seconds and you can drop it again. So that's a pretty drastic change. So you can't like spam the gravity lift.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a thing with Pathfinder. They kind of gave it the Pathfinder treatment.
I'm kind of happy that they did, just because Horizon is really strong, and especially her Q is so powerful. So therefore, I'm kind of glad that they did this.
Yep. Yeah, I have no problem with that. She's very hard to hit, or anybody who goes up those are impossible to hit. So
yes.
it's distracting, and then you have to look up while the rest of their teammates are attacking you from the front. It's not easy. So I'm glad that's happening.
Yeah.
Octane, the Launchpad remastered. Many players have known about Octane's super jump that was possible with a well-timed jump while hitting the pad. Once the double jump option was introduced, it was an input clash that led to unreliable usage. We decided to add some launch options that are better defined than the old super jump. So hitting the jump pad from a standing position will launch players along a high arc, and then a crouch position, players will launch on a low arc. They'll fly lower but farther.
Oh.
So if you're crouched, you launch farther, but you're not going to get up high. So to get up on top of buildings, you have to be standing.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Interesting choice.
Yeah.
It makes it a little bit more tactical. I like it. Why not?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think if you're trying to like legit escape from a team, like you're on the run,
you should crouch. Yeah.
You should like slide crouch off of it and jump that way. And, which makes sense. Yeah. So it's important to be running and slide into them. So yeah, I like it. It makes it a little bit more tactical. In Octane, I always hated Octane prior to like season 6, and then finally in season 6, I'm like, I'm gonna give him like a legit shot because he's fun in pubs, and so he's definitely a fun player to play with. I hate getting random Octanes because I feel like they're gonna land on the other side of the map, and who knows what the hell's gonna happen with them. But then you never see him again. So. So I was like, well, I'll play as Octane. So I played Octane a lot in like season 6 and season 7, and so yeah. And by a lot, I mean a decent amount. Crypto, remove the ability to stick arc stars to friendly drones. Did you ever get drones struck like this?
Luckily, no, if I'm correct. But I've seen a couple videos of people who did this, and I think it's annoying if you get hit like this.
Yes, that's too much. I don't think I did. Did you ever get Sheila droned when that was a thing?
No.
Okay, because that happened to me one time, and it was like the most majestic death of my life. It was the only time I've ever died by a Sheila too. Was a flying Sheila. It was amazing because I just stood there and just took it. It's like I have to, because I didn't even see videos on it. It's like so flying. It was amazing. So then we went in. I got some buddies and we went into the firing range. I'm like, okay, this is awesome. Loba. So loot inside unopened care packages is now visible with the eye for quality. Okay, so she can see care packages, unopened care packages, and see through them, which makes sense. I don't have a problem with that. Caustic. So this is big. So all gas now dissipates as soon as Caustic's team is eliminated. So
Wait. Sorry, you forgot the second part of change stuff
and
so
through
that
the
she
black
can
market.
access it.
The black market. Okay. So a care package can drop. She can be behind, like in another building, drop the black market and steal it.
Yeah. Prior, you only could steal it while it was closed. No. Sorry,
Or when it
while
opened.
it was open. Yeah.
Which
And
I
now
was able to do one time. I had a Lobo on my team who knew what she was doing or he was doing, put it down, and we waited for it to open. Somebody got something. I think I got a gold backpack out of it, and somebody got like a Kraber or something. It was pretty awesome. So yeah, that's pretty good.
It's a good change, and I also think it's not that overpowered because I mean you still have to be in the range of the care package, so therefore it's perfectly fine, I guess. But
yeah, and any team around is gonna know. They can hear that from pretty far away. So yeah, that's a pretty good buff. And Loba is becoming, I think, more and more useful, like in game anyway. As long as they don't constantly loot. Like the only problem I have with like Lobas on my team is like I find myself like wanting to go to the boutique every time. I'm like, maybe I could use a better magazine or something. That's my only issue.
I'm always surprised how low this cooldown is from her shop or boutique or whatever. It's
when you can land and drop it in like 20 seconds, like that's pretty big.
It's pretty short, yeah.
All right, so yeah, as mentioned, Caustic, the gas now dissipates as soon as the Caustic's team is eliminated. It's more or less just one less annoyance on the map, but
I guess it's a sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean it's okay. It's not. I don't think it's going to have like a dramatic effect to Caustic, but it's better than nothing.
I think this changes a delight. I mean, when the AGL was in Europe, I think it was one round where a Wraith actually killed him.
They won.
Yeah, they won, but his whole team still died because of the Caustic that is already dead, but his gas killed him. It's insane. So therefore, I think this is a good change.
And he clutched it too. Wasn't it like a 1v2 at the time?
So, yeah.
And it was, and he ended up clutching it and then died. Like that's devastating.
That was really hard.
Yeah, I can see that being pretty vital. I know everybody hates a Caustic, and I never play Caustic until I run into a Caustic, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta go Caustic. It's the only counter is running another Caustic.
Yeah.
And he's so good. I understand like people hate him, and even like teammates like, oh god, this guy's going Caustic, and I've had people say stuff to me before. Because I play Caustic like a decent amount because there's so many other Caustics out there, and for me it's also like almost like a security thing. Like one, I'm not amazing, and then like with just like hearing issues and stuff, like it's just a safety like protecting my back end type of thing for me. So that helps. Mirage. So this is not groundbreaking because they were talking about this last season. So now Mirage decoys will have footsteps, which I also feel like half of the legends don't already have footsteps, but now the
True
decoys
story.
will. So there's a shot at the devs right there, but maybe that is the more important notice. Our important thing is fixing footsteps in general.
Oh yeah, please. It's so annoying.
I mean, I get it if a Revenant comes up behind me and kills me, like it is what it is. But if Pathfinder comes up and just kills me and I have no idea, then there's a problem.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I ran into one time inside of a building, a Pathfinder and an Octane running at me. It was a building at Geyser, and so it was a long hallway. So I should have been able to hear like the two loudest legends running. Had no idea until they were in my face. and they were running my phone.
Yeah.
Like, how do I not hear this?
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty bad if you can't hear those footsteps. So
I really think every Apex player knows the problem about the footsteps. It's just annoying. I don't know how. So far, they have not been able to fix this. I guess this should be a priority, but so far it doesn't seems to be one, or they just don't really care so much about this. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there are bigger. I mean, I don't know. Maybe like the footstep audio is probably the biggest problem right now. I think is at least the one that I hear the most complaints about. But
at
on
least the most annoying one. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, for sure. On the plus with this, because I thought about this too, is like if I go up against a Mirage and they do their ultimate, like how distracting is it? And they says like there won't be a footstep tornado if an enemy Mirage ults nearby, but it'll be slightly harder to pick out the real Mirage from audio cues, which is like the only real way you can find. I mean, other than like behavior of a Mirage. But if you're a smart Mirage, you'll just run wildly anyway and like run into a wall and keep running, so people have no clue who you are.
Yeah.
But those are always fun, just to, like walk up to a wall and stare at it and then turn and shoot somebody.
Yeah, great idea. Yeah, I mean,
but this should
change
also
could be.
help.
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry, I constantly interrupt you.
Yeah,
But
it's all good.
Just one thing. I think this is good for content, at least. I mean, I figure you can do funny stuff with this.
Yes. Yeah, there's tons of tons of. I mean, because Mirage is great for content anyway, and now that the decoys are going to be even harder to pick out, it's going to be great.
Yes.
So the weapons, nothing major here, just gold weapon rotation that they normally do. I love the gold Mozambique, especially like if they do like the 6 rounds.
Oh,
if they go back to that April Fool's
Blah,
Mozambique,
blah, blah.
I really hope it is. Like, I will run double Mozams if they go back to 6. So there's my hope and dream. Longbow, so there will be a gold 30-30, 301 Spitfire, which is perfect. So getting that gold Spitfire, all sorts of possibilities there.
So the thing is, do you think the golden mag will be already attached to it or not?
See, that's interesting. Like, is that if they're gold weapons, are they considering that the gold mag on all of them?
That would be interesting.
So if you have a gold gun, it auto reloads when swapping, I guess. Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm assuming so. I'm assuming those are gold mags. Attachments. So the gold barrel is gone from the loot pool, which seems weird.
A sad day for Apex. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily why. I mean, I don't notice it because my aim isn't good enough. But like, I don't necessarily like. Is it that noticeable going from like a blue to a gold?
I think so. I mean, I always use it. I always use it on a Hemlock, and on a Hemlock, I think it was pretty strong, and maybe that was one reason why they got rid of it, because a lot of people, if they have it, use it. I assume for a Hemlock or even for an R99. And maybe this was also one step just to nerf the Hemlock a little bit more, or maybe even other weapons like the 301, which is already steady as hell, and with this even more. And also for the R99, but it's just strange why they just completely got rid of it. I don't really get it.
Yeah, it's kind of bizarre, but yeah, it could be like a side nerf to the 301 and the Hemlock probably.
Yeah.
G7s. Hop ups, double tap hop up is removed, which to me like destroys the EVA 8, but there's a lot of people who are fans of the I hate it on the G7. Every time I pick up a gold G7, I disable it immediately. Yeah, I hate that. But I guess this isn't a big deal with the double tap. I don't think most people use it that much anyway.
No.
And then the anvil rounds added back. So the anvil 301 is a thing again. So, but that's kind of surprising.
what are the anvil rounds again?
The anvil is single fire, so you can change your 301 to single
I
fire,
see.
and
Yeah.
it hits like a wingman
I see.
from a 301, which is
Oh, so they should probably also add it again for the flatline, right?
yeah. So yeah,
Is the
it
one?
should be
Yeah.
the same. Yep.
Okay.
Flatline
Okay, that's actually,
301 anvil.
okay. That's actually nice because I always felt a little bit sad that it just got rid of it
Yeah.
because I really liked it on the flatline.
Yep.
But nice change. I love it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with this. So you're gonna see a lot of 301 and 301 and flatline single fire this season, I think.
Yes.
The volt damage decreased from 16 to 15, which probably puts it a little bit closer to on pace with like a R99. Because to me, I thought the volt was like just a smidge better than the 99. But this probably, what's the 99 damage? 14? Does that sound right?
I think they went down to 14, 13. I'm
13,
not
maybe it's 13.
13, 14. I'm not so sure. Could be, yeah, but they put it down at least a bit, yeah. Since it has been a golden one, afterwards they put it down or increase it again. I'm not so sure.
Yeah. Yeah, the gold 99 was, I don't know, that was a frustrating moment. Like
Yeah.
moving that to the care package.
But now it's coming back again. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
but I was never a fan of it. The problem is like you feel like everybody uses it, and I was like, oh, I should be using this. So you get it, and then like I miss an entire magazine on somebody. It's like, why am I running this again? So
yeah, but
I don't know. I was never a fan.
I actually like the volt change because sometimes I feel like just the volt just melts a little bit too much. Sometimes you're
Yeah.
just going like and that's it. It's
Yep.
so fast sometimes. So I guess it's a good change.
I hate running up against energy guns. Like, I mean, because you can hear the volt and the Devo sound from a mile away. It's like I'm staying as far away from this as possible.
Oh yeah.
I hate. There's nothing more devastating than dying to a caustic or a Gibraltar with a Devo. Like, oh my god,
Agreed,
you're the
agreed.
most toxic person ever.
100%.
It's like how do you beat a Gibraltar with a gun shield with a Devo? Like it's impossible.
There's only one way. Turn around and run.
Yeah, keep your distance.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Alternator, which is interesting to me because the alternator I think is a decent. It's like an underrated gun, and they've increased the damage 15 to 16. So, this might be my like new Volt or new R99 for people is the alternator. So, it doesn't fire as fast, but increasing the damage 15 to 16. I don't know. Maybe that's pretty dramatic enough to make it really good. Did you ever run the alternator?
I think it's not dramatic enough, but I guess we will find out. But yeah, the alternator at the current state was or is just a little bit too weak. It fires too slow, and therefore, even at least in my opinion or in my imagination, even the steadiness of the gun is not as good as, for example, for an R99, which is kind of weird because the R99 shouldn't be as steady, but
Right.
I don't really know. I could be wrong on this, but as far as I know, it's just not strong enough at the alternator.
It's got a slow fire rate for sure.
Yeah.
So increasing damage 1 on a slow firing gun, yeah, probably not going to be super noticeable, but I'm definitely going to run it. I feel like I hit more alternator shots.
Yeah,
like
that's
a 99.
true.
Like I feel like I'll aim for their chest, and then the recoil for some reason I cannot like that and the Havoc. Like I avoid the Havoc like the plague. Like I cannot handle that recoil for some reason. It's just all over the place.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I have to agree now that I think about it. Yeah. I think I was wrong. The alternator should have a, a way better recoil than R99, I think.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's easy to control. Yeah, you should be able to hit more of the alternator shots. I know it's like people like last season did a comparison between the two, and it was pretty equal. They still lean towards the 99, because if you hit, like, even if you have like a blue mag on it, if you hit them all, you know, you're gonna knock the guy. You know, with the alternator you can't quite do that, but you're gonna hit more of your shots. So if you have a purple mag on an alternator versus like a blue mag, it's like a comparable gun.
Okay.
So and Spitfire. So this is interesting. So the damage increased from 18 to 19, but then they basically changed the reload speeds to even out that damage, which I don't know why you wouldn't just leave it as is. why buff and nerf at the same time? So there's some reload speed increases, 2.8 to 3.2, and then empty reload speed increased from 3.33 to 3.8. I don't know how noticeable that's going to be. It's already a slow reload on a Spitfire, but I don't know. That's a weird change. I don't know why they would do both of those. increase the damage, but increase the reload times. So whatever.
I mean, the mag of the Spitfire is so big, you probably don't even have to reload until you down someone.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't down somebody with a Spitfire, unless you're fighting a whole team, I guess that's the one thing. If it's just one, like a 1v1, if you don't down them with a Spitfire, you probably don't deserve to win it anyway, because that's a lot of bullets.
Yes.
Oh my! And then another like semi nerf to the EVA 8 is the fire rate increased, not much, but 2.0 to 2.1. So it's not really noticeable, but they take away the double tap for the EVA 8,
small buff, yeah,
and an increased fire rate. So that's kind of bizarre. But oh well. So I don't know. Nobody runs the EVA 8 if there's a Mastiff on the ground anyway. So some bug fixes. Sonar abilities no longer stop Caustic's highlight vision. What am I missing here? The sonar abilities no longer stop.
I'm not so sure. I guess the sonar is Bloodhound's Q.
I guess.
I guess. Yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah, it must.
And maybe
must stop
even
it.
Crypto's drone, but sonar. I mean, it's not really a sonar, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what. I mean, it's just a bug, so apparently it's something that doesn't happen super often. Anyway, Loba, some exploited areas on Kings Canyon that Loba was able to reach, which is good. I'm sure there's plenty of those places where Loba can go that, you know, only her and Pathfinder can go to, but Rampart jump pads and Octane's Town Takeover no longer allow Rampart to place Sheila on them. I don't. Why would people do? Does that like maybe just prevent people from jumping on them? I guess. I don't know. It doesn't seem. It maybe it's just people just being goofy with things, but it's like that doesn't seem to help anybody. I don't know.
No, not really.
Fix the issue with Rampart's passive persisting even after changing characters and fire range. Oh, so her like reload ability. So you could come in as Rampart and then change somebody else, and the reload ability was. I don't. It's just a firing range, so. It doesn't matter that much, but that's funny. Havoc fixed an issue using the Havoc to have 100% accuracy when hip fired through Rampart's amped cover.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know
that's
that too.
Kind of a bummer.
I mean, that explains a couple of my games where Havoc just melted me from, I don't know, 200 feet away.
Must be shooting through a Rampart cover. Oh my god.
Apparently.
Peacekeeper fixed a point of view issue that occurred when using Horizon's abilities, then immediately going into ADS with a Peacekeeper. Okay, I don't know. I wonder if it was just like something was in her way or whatever, like the Pathfinder. Remember when Pathfinder had that thing broken where like I don't know, for like 2-3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Like you'd have to climb a wall to fix it after you use this
Yeah.
grapple. Like his whole
Annoying.
review.
Yeah. Oh, that was so annoying.
Some club stuff, re-enabled ability to invite friends from clubs, fixed an issue costing some users who have opted out of last squad invites. Okay. Failing to connect to the club database no longer leads to a missing kick from club. Oh, see, I know this. Yeah, there was some friends. I mean, we had like a little tiny club or whatever, but some friends were like, "Why'd you kick me from the club?" I'm like, "I didn't kick you from the club. I don't know what you're talking about." And players no longer being kicked from clubs when switching to another profile on Xbox. That was a whole other issue I ran into. Why'd you kick me, man? I didn't. I'll reinvite you again, but like to me, it always looked like they were on there and they were saying like they were sending me messages like, "Yeah, it says I'm kicked," and okay. So it's just a little bug apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same stuff too, and in my case, it was maybe even a little bit funnier because I'm the leader of the club, and therefore I thought, how can it be that I get kicked? What the hell?
From your
It
own?
just voted for me to kick me out, or what happened? But no, apparently it was just a bug. Luckily.
Yeah, if you're the leader, can you like you have like an uprising of the people and like kick out the lead? That's amazing. Like, all members have to agree to kick somebody out.
There
a mutiny happening. Throw you overboard. Love it.
This is the revolution.
And then the last little things. Yeah, I know like the heirloom shop was broken. Apparently there's a lot of people who bought heirlooms. It said like, "Oh, you're buying Gibraltar's heirloom," and then they got like Pathfinders. So I think there was a lot of people that were like pissed off. It's like I was saving these for this, and I got my heirloom shards and went to go buy this one, and I got the other one. So apparently, Apex, like as long as you reported it, they fixed it. But
okay, yeah,
I can see that. Like I bought $200 worth of Apex packs to get it, and then
oh yeah,
and then I got the shaft. So, but like apparently, like Pathfinder's heirlooms like disappeared. Like you couldn't get the boxing gloves at all. Like they disappeared for like a month. So
that's
pretty crazy.
That's a long period. Holy.
Yeah, it was a long time. Fixed an issue with crowds not sharing in Pathfinder's Town Takeover, which I don't have a problem with. That was extremely loud and obnoxious. Fixed a bug that allowed thermites to deal damage through certain walls on Olympus.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thermites is always a special case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that fire goes everywhere. Now, did they fix the thing with like grenades where you could like, I don't know, maybe this was fixed like last season, but you could like aim down at a door and throw a grenade through a shut door?
Oh, really?
Yeah, like you can look at like the very corner. I don't know if it's still a thing or not, but like I was in a building like being chased by a full squad. I'm holding the door and healing, and then they throw like 3 grenades through a closed door. Like what the? How is that fair? So yeah, apparently there's like a bug through a door. I don't know if it's still, because it seems like it was last season that was happening. So I don't know if it's still a thing, but it might be worth trying to see if you can throw those through a door still. But yeah, you like aim it like right at the corner where the door shuts, so it's on the hinged part of the door. You look down right at the corner and you can throw a grenade through that little corner.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe I shouldn't be disclosing that to people.
I think I never encountered that. But
yeah, I don't think it was super well known, but thank God. But yeah, I think you can still do it. I don't ever remember seeing a thing where it was like fixing where you could throw grenades through. I don't ever remember that patch. So content. All right. Well, that's I should go back to it. So anything else for season 8 before we wrap up?
Do you still want to talk about okay, now I think I will do it anyways in a separate video, but maybe your overall thoughts on the battle pass, maybe, or do you want to do this in a different podcast?
Thoughts on the battle pass? Can I pull up a thing? Like, there's like you're just talking about like the trailer.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we can watch it real quick. My microphone is blocking my. I can't type good enough to not like glance down. Season 8 Battle Pass trailer. There we go. All right, perfect. Mayhem Battle Pass trailer. Suppose I should share my screen. I don't know how well a video shows up, but we'll try it. All right, so share. I do want to share audio. All right, we'll see how well this shows.
It's time to bring the boom.
I told you, the buck stopped.
Do you want to pause on these? I mean, we can.
You can pause whenever you want. Yeah, why not?
So first of all, this might be, in my opinion, like the best skin of all time. It's a pretty badass Bangalore skin. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's. I think so too. It should by far be her best one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's time to bring.
And see the lifeline, was that like the bad to the bone or whatever? Like that's a pretty cool skin as well. And then what did they? I think they even named like this like the flatline skin or whatever.
Yeah.
And there you can see it a little better. And then this fuse skin reminds me of the pirate Mirage one.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, I forget what that one's called, but it kind of looks like that.
So you need only one skin more, and then you can actually do a pirate squad.
Oh yeah.
Wait, oh no, wait! Isn't the I don't have the name for it, but the Loba skin, isn't it also kind of a pirate themed skin? The one where she has the green hair and the skeleton on her hair.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, there is.
I don't know
there
if
definitely.
this is really pirate themed, but I guess you could just do it. Why not?
You have to stay on Mirage Voyage the whole time or something. Huh. Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that. Yeah. Pirate Squad. Yeah, that does sound like a video like potential right there.
Agreed.
Told you, the buck stops with me.
Okay, so those are the same ones we saw.
Yeah.
Hey,
As you explode into the mayhem of our all-new battle packs. Jam-packed with rewards, chaos reigns as legends take it to the extreme. With a twisted new set of cosmetics.
Maybe see that a little better, but it's pretty good.
Mm.
I like, what is this called? Like Wally or whatever? Is the name of his ultimate? Like
Yes.
pretty
Something
cool
about
looking.
Wally or so.
Yeah.
Wally, I think something.
It's pretty cool.
But I really like his skin.
Yeah.
As far as I mean, I already know that I will only play him with this skin, not with his original skin.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool and definitely it fits his style, I think, too.
Yeah.
So that's a good skin.
next round's on me.
Delve into the dark side of Lifeline as she goes bad to the bone.
Yeah, so it's bad to the bone is what that is.
Bad to the bone, yeah.
While wreaking havoc with the Chained Beast Flatline.
So it's the Chain Beast. Yeah, so it's got the chain on it. Which, anybody who shoots guns, this is not an effective way to...
Okay.
Like, hanging chains off of a gun is not a great way to use a gun. It looks cool, but yeah.
Looking for a rhythm?
So there's the skin a little better. I mean, I guess it's more or less just like the mask, but
Yeah.
which kind of fits the whole masking up quarantine aspect of.
Oh yeah, true.
It's probably where it kind of came from. Is like, oh, I'm just kind of surprised that never became a thing. Like everybody just got like medical gear and would have been kind of funny. Season 7, quarantine edition.
A gotcha beat! And unleash your inner warlord and take radical action as Bangalore exerts her dominance.
Yeah, and see that I'm not a big like I don't know, none of the sniper rifles I'm like great with anyway, so I don't know. And you never use like longbow either, do you?
Yeah, I know it. I mean, the skin is pretty cool, but yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate because I assume not a lot of people are playing actually the longbow DMR.
No.
I mean, I could be wrong, but it's an odd choice in my opinion.
And I'm guessing these just like glow brighter with like the more kills you have with them. So
Yeah.
react.
With the reactive DMR X1.
Oh yeah, there you can kind of see
But I mean,
glow.
how often will you see this? I mean, how often is it that you make I don't know 5 to 6 kills with a longbow? I guess it's pretty rare.
I mean, I've had a couple games where I'll get 2 or 3, but I doubt I've ever had 5 or 6 kills with a longbow. So
Yeah.
it was like your Sentinel game. Whereas like, you know, you have all these like you're trying to win games with hipfire Sentinel and getting all these kills. I'm like, me trying to think like, have I ever knocked anybody with a Sentinel? I guess between the Sentinel and the Mozambique, like those are probably like the least 2 picked up guns for myself. I just never pick them up.
Yeah, I think for me it's actually the longbow and the Mozambique should be.
There was like right towards the beginning of season 7, like I picked up a longbow a couple times and like I was getting kills with it and I'm like, oh yeah, and then like I just stopped because I had like 3 or 4 games where like I didn't hit a shot, which I think is like typical with a lot of those type of guns with like a Sentinel or a longbow, or it's just hard to time right, I guess. But longbow's drop off is weird.
Yeah.
One longbow.
Too slow on the draw.
Legends can take their personal experience to the edge with the dynamite set of new music packs,
Yeah, so
loading screens,
I'm not sure. I gotta go back to that.
new music.
Yeah, him doing the whole like the knife thing down. I don't know what this is.
I guess it's the kill quip, right? I mean, or how do you call it? Kill intro?
Oh, like
Kill-
a finisher?
Finisher, yeah, sorry.
Finisher?
But that doesn't really make sense because where's the table coming from?
Yeah. See, does he pull a table out from his back or something? And I don't know. Unless this is just some goofy thing or whatever.
But it looks funny.
Yeah, like if this was a finisher, like, you know, and then he like chops off their head or something, that's probably
yeah.
too brutal for
Oh.
Apex, but
But probably chop off a couple of fingers and then I don't know.
either way, that was like the first time I saw that, I was like, that's pretty funny. And then there's like, I guess there's this skin, which is just kind of generic blue looking. It kind of just looks like one of the common skins, to be honest.
Packs, loading screens, banners, and gun charms.
And you know, the banners, go back to the banners. The banners actually look pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's
So-
true.
The only thing I don't like about the battle passes is like when you get like all the music packs and the loading screens. Like, I don't care about that stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not that important. That's the thing.
No, like a couple of them are fine, but like I want like skins and packs, stuff like that. I don't necessarily care about. I mean, sometimes like the banners I'm okay with, some of those, but I want like the emotes and the skins and all that.
And gun charms. A new set of quips and hollow
And the like, what's your opinion on the hollow sprays?
I mean, it's a cool idea to make a funny scene for content or something, but I mean, more than that, it's just for toxicity, in my opinion. So I don't know. It's really not that important. It's not that big of a deal. It's just sometimes just funny,
Yeah.
but it leads to a lot of toxicity, I would assume.
You know what I found like the most useful part of these is like if you drop one and like you're running a certain direction and somebody likes it,
Yeah,
it's
Oh,
more
yeah.
or less like a signal of like, oh, there's somebody back at Harvester. And Like, turn around.
Man, I never thought about it. That's actually true. That's
Yeah, so
kind of tactical.
I did this one time, like train yard. So like I was doing trios, and I was going from like harvester to train yard, and teammates died instantly, left the game. So I'm by myself. But I came from harvester, so at the entrance of the tunnel to train yard, I dropped my hollow spray, and waited at the end. And then as soon as somebody liked it, I'm ready to gun them down because I know they're coming. So it actually was very effective. I don't think I killed anybody. I think I like knocked 2 and then the third killed me. But either way, like I think if you have a full squad, it could be a whole nother tactic of like putting 3 down, and like somebody's gonna like at least one of them. Like, so yeah, it's it can be a fun tactic. So there's another video idea for you, is the hollow spray tactics.
It's actually pretty smart, yeah.
Yeah, it works well as a solo. Of like, now I gotta defend, and it's a good way to notify somebody's coming.
Sprays bring the swagger. And show off the fiery new skydive emotes as you blaze towards an obliterated Kings Canyon.
I do love the emotes, like the skydiving emotes. Why do they screw over Bloodhound?
I mean, that's the thing that I wanted to say. What surprised me when I saw this the first time, that Wraith gets another one. I think she already got 4, if I'm correct.
I think Wraith and Pathfinder all have 4 already.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is their 4th. I'm not sure, but
Pathfinder has right now 3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah. And I love that they're all with like the crows or whatever from what he's getting attacked by him or whatever. You know, so but why Bloodhound has 1. And well, he got one battle pass one. So I don't know. Bloodhound seems to get screwed on the skydives.
I mean, at least he got one now with the Fight Night event. He had one there. I mean, you had to pay for it.
Yeah.
I mean, and quite to be honest, it was one of the coolest ones ever, because it's the one where he puts out his 2 knives. It looks quite cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do remember that one. Yeah. Yeah, it's like if you pulls out both knives, like that needs to be a finisher as well too. So I don't.
That should have been his heirloom. 2 knives. That would have been insane.
Yeah. Indeed. And yeah, like this skin right here. Was there another one? That's his diving emote. Okay, so those are the 2 areas.
It's time.
And then there's this blue one right here, which also kind of looks. I mean, in comparison to the first one you see of Fuse, it's kind of stupid, and I'll never use it.
Yeah, agreed.
I would probably almost rather use his default, unless I don't know, unless it's for like some type of stupid challenge.
Yes,
hiding somewhere, but you know,
it looks a little bit like a mix out of Elvis and Evil Knievel. I mean, take a look.
Kinda, yeah.
I don't know.
Elvis and Evil. It's a great combo.
I mean,
I missed this somehow. Like I somehow missed this the first time I watched this.
Yeah, it looks.
Time to light the fuse and bring the bruise. So
an L-Star skin, which I don't know. Does anybody ever use the L-Star?
I mean, I've been told that it can be pretty strong, and I think last week ago I got melted by it, like I've never seen before in my life, and it startled me like shit. But yeah, it seems like, I mean, I think my brother told me that there's especially one YouTuber who constantly uses this gun and almost kills everybody with it. So it seems like it's strong.
There is a Rampart meta with double All-Stars because she reloads them so fast.
Oh.
And so apparently like double L-Star Rampart with just, 6 million rounds of energy ammo is devastating.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So if people haven't tried it, hopefully they didn't listen to this part, but apparently it's super effective. So
Okay.
yeah, that's something to kind of keep in mind.
So let's go full blast into shock and awesome.
Didn't you hear, mate?
Only with the Season 8 Battle Pass.
Next time you want to take a swing at few.
Yeah. With the what they call it, like the quaff or whatever. Yeah, it does kind of look like a notice.
Don't.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's some cool things in there, I guess. So I don't know. Like, none of them have been like super disappointing, I guess. So the 100 and 110 longbow skins are probably like the most disappointing of this one. So I guess as long as I get up to 100, I'm good. I don't have to make that final push for a 110 because I probably won't care or ever use it. So not a big deal. There's less pressure on that.
I think season 8 will be good. I don't think this will be the best season or even the worst, also not, but I guess it would just be a good season, or at least I hope so.
Yeah.
The best way to find out is to play.
Absolutely. Yeah, season 6 was the worst for me. Like, just the one, like, I was bored. I didn't like, it was like the only time I've never finished a battle pass. Like, the least amount of games played by far. Like, if I'm going through like all my stats, like season 6 is bad.
I can't even really remember the changes of season 6. Do you still know them? What changed with 6?
I think it was like where they added the World's Edge changes of like countdown and launch site, and adding in Rampart. I guess that was it.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So
well, I have to be honest. I really like the World's Edge changes. They were actually cool, at least for me.
Yeah, it was fine, but like I think I needed, like, at that point, like a new map. I think was probably like my thing. So that was like the one downside, I think.
Yeah, and Rampart was a little bit underwhelming, a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So okay, well, yeah. Any other thoughts? I guess.
No, not really. I think we could maybe do another one later or back somewhere in the future when we already play it and can actually talk about all this stuff a little bit more in detail, because we actually played the game.
Yeah.
Or played season 8.
Yeah, kind of critique, almost like run back through it again, like how effective these things were.
Yeah.
For sure. Yep, I agree. So yeah, I guess stay tuned at least in a few weeks, and we'll do a season 8 revisit of that, I guess. For sure. So all right. Well, yeah. Any other last thoughts? Otherwise, we'll wrap.
No, not really. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, yeah. If you guys haven't already, be sure to go check out Kami over there. So there's always going to be a link over there for him, or down below, and go check him out. Pretty freaking hilarious content for sure. So it's pretty great. So.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching and listening or whatever.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. All right. Later.